My name is Emily. Welcome to my garden. It's the place where dreams are cultivated. You know, they predicted a hurricane and it's already started to rain. We got to head off to the farmers market. To market to market. We're at the local farmers market. Farmers markets have actually grown in popularity over the last couple of years due to the economy. You have some great vegetables here. I take it you have a big farm.
Yeah, we have, I think it's 80 acres altogether. We're a Langwater farm. We're in Northeaston.
I have to tell you what a pleasure it is to be able to come to a farmer's market. They're popping up all over the place. Is this the only one that you do?
No, we do one in Dorchester and one in Medfield too right now, and it varies depending on the season.
Have you noticed that they've really gained in popularity the last few years? I have.
Yeah, there've been a lot of them. People seem excited about it.
A lot of people are following just on Facebook and all of the social media. So farmers markets have really taken a little bit of a turn, maybe for the better.
Yeah.
Oh, what are these?
The variety is called 8-ball. We usually call them roly-polies. They're a golden zucchini, but they're nice because you can slice them and grill them. They won't fall through the cracks.
Nice.
And throw them on a sandwich or something.
8-ball.
Yeah.
Or roly-poly zucchini. I got to get some of those. All of your foods here are organic.
Yeah, everything on the table is, we do buy some stuff from Wardsberry Farm in Sharon, and that's IPM grown, not organic. But
can you tell me the difference?
It's called integrated pest management. It's not quite conventional farming, but they target like very specific pests and diseases and that sort of thing.
What does organic actually mean?
No, well, we use some fertilizers, but they're like chicken poop, basically.
Yeah.
We use a couple of organic fertilizers, but there's a very short list of ones you can use. No pesticides, no chemicals. Our seeds aren't genetically modified, they're organic seeds. And then also the land can't have been used for anything chemical related in the past, I think, 5 or 10 years.
Because obviously it will just all come through. This is great. What else have you got here?
So we've got a lot of nice heirloom tomatoes. They're really pretty and good colors.
Ooh, they're beautiful.
It's called a striped German.
And maybe you could explain some of these, because I know they are heirloom tomatoes, but they're not grown as much as they had been in the past.
Well, no, the thing is they bred tomatoes to be red and round and hardy, because food needs to be transported a lot in our country. And these varieties generally have thinner skins. They generally have a shorter growing season, so they're not good for commercial production, but they often have better flavors. And so if you're buying locally, you can get a more tasty tomato.
I used to work in a garden center for years and years and years, and we used to have a little joke when people would come in and pick up a tomato, because you may know those by their characteristics, but let's face it, you pick up a tomato, it's your basic red round. The red round. What else have you got? You got peppers here?
Yeah, we got jalapenos.
And these?
These are called dragon tongue beans. They're similar to a green bean or wax bean, but they're a little juicier. They've got a lot of flavor.
You know, I don't think I've ever had
You're
these.
welcome to try one. They're good if you like green beans.
So you just snap them the same way?
You can just eat
so
them like
they're
what a green
prepared the same way? Really good.
Yeah, they have more juice than you'd expect. You kind of think they'll be dry by looking at them.
And what's the season like with those? The same as the others?
They've got a slightly shorter season than green beans. We're just getting them in now, and then they're an August one, late August.
They're great. And of course, the sidekick that we're talking about is the green beans. Okay, I have to do a taste test now. I'm eating all the vegetables. I love the farmer's market. Those are juicier.
Yeah.
Now what do we got here?
What do we have here? Oh, it's kohlrabi. It's related to broccoli. You skin it, and then it's a sort of a sweet, crispy thing, like a broccoli stem, but better. And you can eat it raw. You can stir fry it. It makes a good coleslaw, actually.
Root vegetable.
Right here.
Yeah.
So this is out of the ground.
Okay.
We'll often grow them on plastic to keep the bugs from them.
What is this?
Edamame. It's soybeans, basically. It's they're good. You steam them and then you eat the beans out of the pod. They're like a really common Japanese appetizer, and they're good, like a lima bean maybe.
I can't believe this. I really am not familiar with this one.
You probably, I bet you'd recognize them if they were off the bush and like in a little dish.
These I do recognize because I have a bit of an Italian background. I love eggplant, and you have the white eggplant as well.
It's an Italian heirloom eggplant.
And it's called Rosa Bianca?
Yeah.
Nice. And it's really just the color. The taste is pretty much the same.
Yes, the lighter the eggplant, in my experience, I don't know if this is true across the board, lighter color, slightly less seedy, slightly less bitter. A lot of the bitterness comes with this dark skin.
Good to know. You're a wealth of information. So this is great.
Free dirt.
I love this. I'm going to tell you something. Last year I had done a little show, and I needed some greens. If you put these in water, the greens will last for quite a while.
Yeah, and you can juice them.
You can juice them. So don't throw away your carrot tops. They'll either make a good arrangement or a wonderful juice. Full of vitamins too, I might add. And this is what I'm really after today, cucumbers. I'm gonna go home because there's a storm a-brewing, and I'm gonna make some crispy pickles, Emily's Garden crispy pickles. A1 Pickle Company.
Good morning.
I happen to know you pretty well. You make great pickles. I am going to make them for my show, and I am going to try to do a little demonstration if I can beat the rain today. I've done it for years, but it is a lot of work. Canning is simply fruits or vegetables packed into canning jars, which are fitted with self-sealing lids. A water bath canner's use is limited to fruits, tomatoes, pickles, relish, jams, jellies, and marmalades. The high acid levels in these foods make it safe to can them in boiling water. Most vegetables are low in acid and need to be processed in a pressure canner, which produces much higher temperatures. Use only standard canning jars and lids. Lids are designed for one-time use. Screw bands, however, can be reused if they are in good condition. Thoroughly wash lids, bands, and jars in hot sudsy water, then rinse. Dry the bands. Heat your canning jars and lids in hot water prior to filling. Then fill the canner with water before you begin. After you have prepared your recipe, fill the hot jars, leaving about a 1/4 inch headspace, according to the recipe. Position heated lid on jar with screw band. Place each jar into canner rack. Water should be 1 to 2 inches over jar tops. Add additional hot water if needed. Process jars by starting timing when water begins to boil. After processing, set jars on a towel to cool for 12 to 24 hours. Test for a seal by pressing down on center of lid. If the lid center does not flex up and down, the lid is sealed. I see that you won a prize at the Topsfield Fair.
2 of my brands, my sour and my sweet dill, both took first place at last year's Topsfield Fair. I just put them in for fun, who knew? They didn't have a spicy category, or it might have been a threefer.
Your company popped up a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And you're based out of Attleboro as well.
Out of Attleboro.
How was this born?
I found a recipe, and from there I just played with it, then expanded.
What is your favorite pickle? And
Well, my favorite probably would have to be the sour.
see, and I can't make those. I've tried, I can't do the brine. I know that your pickles are fantastic. It's nice talking
Thank
with
you.
you today. Nice seeing you again. This is a great farmer's market. Crawley Crossing Farm. Hi.
Hi,
You're located in Bellingham?
Bellingham, Mass.
What's your name?
Donna,
Donna. My name's Emily.
nice to meet you, Emily.
I see that you have garlic.
We do farm fresh organic garlic.
And these will be planted not too long from now.
Prepare your soil in October sometime. And what I do is I add 2 inches of compost, then I add a nice dehydrated chicken manure for fertilization. Till that in well, and then you want to be tearing apart your bulb, and you're going to plant each clove at least 6 inches apart in a grid. A grid is 6 inches on center, 4 across, and then your row length. And what I usually do when I have the farm kids out, well, the school children or whatever, and they're helping me plant, is I actually make up a grid with holes. So I drop it into the ground, and it pre-makes the holes so the kids know where to set in. And then what I have them do is keep moving the grid down, and they know to put the first line of holes in the old holes that are there, and they just keep flopping it right down the row, and it keeps them on track. You want to put your bulb in the ground with the point up, and it's very important with garlic to make sure you have the point up, or the bulb is not going to grow properly.
I know daylilies have scapes as well, so this is the part that we're calling the scape.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
The neck.
And when I used to teach the children with the bulbs,
Yeah.
pointy nose up.
Yes.
And if
Yeah.
you really look, you can see the basil end that she's talking about was in the ground with a root. Very simple. Gardening
Yeah.
is a lot of common sense, really.
So you want to stick that in as close as you can up straight with the basil end down, and you want to put it the depth down at least the length of the bulb. And then what I do is I put 3 to 4 inches of nice dry straw, and I wait till March when I start seeing the blade coming up, and I look to see if I need any fertilizer. Things are looking good. I let it alone. In June, I will wait for the scape to come up, and I cut it before it goes totally straight, because we want the energy to go into the bulb, not into producing seed. Then in July, I harvest the bulb, and we cut them and dry them in the loft so that they dry out well, and we can keep them, sell them through the market, and to replant in October. So the whole section will start again. And when you're going through your bulbs for planting, what you can do is you can use your small cloves for pesto or for freezing or dehydrating, and then your larger cloves you want to use for planting, because that will give you a bigger bulb the next year.
You said that you can freeze these.
Yeah.
Is there any particular process, or is it just...
No, you can just stick them in the freezer and then pull them out when you want them. It's not anything to be fancy about.
You are a wealth of information about the garlic.
Well, thank you.
Unbelievable. I'm going to have to go and visit you.
Yes, please do, and bring the children.
Okay.
They love to grow.
Say Farmers Market.
I think that was it.
Be Sweet Bakery. What do you have here?
Oh, we have our new item, which is our pies on a stick. We have apple and blueberry today.
How cute is that? What a great idea.
Yeah, we're gonna have peach probably next week as well. So peach pies, yeah.
Now, is this your concept, Lynn?
It's actually Kristen's idea. She was the mind on that one.
I think this is great. Now, what made you think of that? I'm always thinking about these cute little
No,
things.
just an idea. It just pops into my head. I don't know, sometimes.
I have that too. Sometimes it's a curse, sometimes it's a blessing.
And of course, me, I thought, oh, look at this. I came up with this great idea, you know? And then I see it around on the internet. But
Well,
my version of it's a little different. So.
What I do want to tell you, and really when I started to share my ideas with people, it's the firmest form of flattery.
Yeah.
And you can't,
Exactly.
if you want to share it, you can't keep it a secret. So
Absolutely.
there you have it. But we
Absolutely.
know that Kristen thought of this. Great. What else do you have?
We do these. These are very popular M&M cookies on a stick.
Okay. So this is another little play, but
Yep, those we rarely sell out of those very, very quickly. We do a lot of orders for these for birthday party favors.
and where are you out of?
We are out of Attleboro.
Okay.
Yeah, we have more of a web-based business.
And your website is?
It is www.besweetboston.com.
We'll have to take a look-see.
We
Thanks.
do a lot of our kids' cakes. Our pictures of those are online as well. So
All right, perfect. I bet for Halloween too, these would be really cute, decorated in a certain way.
that's we do all the holiday, you know, with the
Yeah.
M&Ms to match, and we do a version without the M&Ms.
Really cute.
And these are candy button cookies. People actually think these are really the candy buttons, but it's a sugar cookie.
Oh my God, I love that. So this is really just frosting with little frosting dots. How simple is that? But, you know, they don't taste as good as the way they make them. I see one more thing behind me that's lovely. Can we look at those cupcakes?
Sure, that's for a birthday. Someone has ordered 2 dozen cupcakes. Those are our Katie cakes. It's our tie-dye cupcake.
Oh
Tie-dye
my
frosting
God.
with chocolate stars on it.
I'm of the tie-dye era. Okay, I'll see you girls later. Oh my God, you have doggy biscuits here. Do you make these doggy treats?
I've made them. I made them all. These are supposed to be good for their breath. It's made with mint and parsley out of my garden.
We'll try it.
These are made with carrots.
You gotta be kidding me. You never know what you're gonna get at Farmers Market.
And these here are peanut butter. And I test them all on my own dog. He loves every one of them.
That is a
And
great idea.
So I brought free samples so if people bring their dog, they can test out which ones they like. I'm just a backyard gardener.
But again, that's another aspect about the farmers markets that I love. I don't have a farm per se, but last year I was able to grow quite a lot of beautiful zinnias. And I don't mind telling you, it was my winter money. And I was able to get myself a little bit of extra oil. So you'll notice that a lot of the vendors here, they may not have typically a business, but they have some kind of an ability and a way to make a little bit of money because winter is coming.
Right? Anyone from Attleboro has to be approved. We have to visit their garden to make sure that the produce is actually coming from their garden. They're not buying it
Good
and
idea.
then reselling it. So they, Heather Parika, the market manager, tours their gardens, and anyone from Attleboro can come and sell at the market.
I think it's wonderful. With the economy the way that it's been, it is a way for people not only to make extra money, but to buy good local food at a price that we can all afford. I can't even believe that we're all here today because they predicted a hurricane. So we're going to move on. I see it's starting to rain now.
Well, nice to see you,
All
Emily.
right, thanks so much. One of the great things about farmers markets is you run into all kinds of people, especially if you visit your local one. My friend Martha taught me how to spin wool. I love you. I know that you are a wealth of information not only about the wool, about all kinds of textiles, because you not only do this, you weave, you hook rugs, you design them all.
Yes,
You are a frequent vendor at farmers markets.
I enjoy myself. There's lots of good people here.
We got one on this side, that Bob, right?
Yes.
What are you selling, Bob?
Well, I'm selling firewood and what extra vegetables I grow.
We're going to need firewood, I think. There's a
How much
storm
you gonna
brewing.
need? Oh, no.
You don't think we're going to get it?
Oh, we'll get a little bit of a storm, but I don't think it's going to be anything near like what the press is trying to make it out of. And all the governors all the way from North Carolina to Maine are declaring states of emergency and whatnot. They'll get a little bit of a blow, but I don't think we're going to do much.
New England?
However, I'm gonna move my car out of my garage because I got an oak tree about that big around right behind it.
We are in New England, so if you don't like the weather,
Wait a minute. And who said that?
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain, you got it. When you're down in South Carolina, where I live in the wintertime, if you don't like the weather, you wait about 4 months and it'll cool off and the humidity will go down. That's why I'm here for the summer.
All right, you got to tell me about your firewood now. Where do you get it? Do you cut it?
I took a couple trees down. I had one fall down that I cut up. I split it. It's all about 4 years ago. And then 3 years ago, I moved to South Carolina for the winter. I haven't burned a stick of wood in 3 years, so I'm going to sell it, make a little bit of money. And I come down here because I'm friends with the Connies. Rick is the guy that got this thing going this year, again.
A rebirth, I would say.
Yeah, and Heather and Eddie, I met them at Rick's. I come down here to socialize more than anything.
Bonnie's here. Bonnie, this is great. I can't believe you're here today. I want to talk about your cranberry bogs.
Well, we have cranberry bogs in Norton, Sharon, Easton, Dartmouth, and then down on the Cape in Mashpee and Falmouth. I work for Fairland Farm, Cape Cod Organic Cranberry. We do a number of farmers markets. We also have wholesale customers, and we love to show people the bogs.
Now, it's getting to be the time of year where you'll be harvesting not too long from now.
Not too long. End of September, mid-October, totally dependent on the weather and how fast the berries are ripening.
Now, I'm looking at all your wares. What do we got here?
We have all different varieties of sweet and dried cranberries. We have conventional, we have sugar-free, we have organic, we have omega fortified, we have pomegranate juice infused. A lot of choices. We actually grow for Deacon's Cranberry, and they do all the drying and the processing of these products. They buy the berries from us. We buy them back from Deacon's and we sell them at various farmers markets, and we have a big wholesale following now too. So very local, with the bogs being off Cape. We dry harvest some fruit and we wet harvest others, depending on what it's going to be used for. Generally, if it's wet harvested, it's made into a juice or a jelly or something like that. And the dry harvested berries are generally what people would buy fresh in the stores seasonally. Unfortunately, it's hard to find cranberries, whole fresh cranberries, out of season unless they're frozen. But I tell people, stock up in the harvest time, put them in your freezer. There's actually a carbohydrate in the cranberry that turns a little bit sweeter when they're frozen, so you don't need quite as much sugar when you use them afterwards, and they'll stay frozen forever.
Do you have any kind of a favorite recipe that you want to share?
I actually wrote a cookbook called Rubies in the Sand, Recipes from the Cape Cod Cranberry Bogs. I've got over 300 recipes I'd love to share with people in that book.
Is your cookbook for sale now?
It is for sale, and you can get it on our website, fairlandfarm.net.
Okay.
Or you can get it at a farmer's market when I'm not preparing for a hurricane and forget everything at home. So.
I know. I'm taking my time here today, and I really need to get home because those winds are going to stop picking up.
I think so.
That being said and done, let's move along. You make all of these?
My husband makes them. Yeah.
All right, Michael, the big question of the day. Where do you get the spoons?
Everywhere. Antique shops, yard sales, flea markets, wherever they can be dug up.
Sizing?
Yes.
Sizing's very important. So all of these, I don't even know what size I am.
Well, basically, we start with spoons, and they get cut, and then ground, and then bent around the mandrel, and then polished and buffed.
Nice.
That's the whole process.
Okay, for a novice like me, what's a mandrel?
A mandrel would be this. And this is all stepped. This has all the ring sizes on it. So just go from size to size. You feed them like silly with little rawhide mallets.
Nice. Farmers Market didn't close today. All right, tell me a little bit about your business and what's it called?
It's Nature's Intention. Everything I use is 100% soy. I have added beeswax into this to make it a little bit harder so that emergency candles, you want them to last longer just in case you don't know how long the electricity's out.
I was going to mention the scent because it's lovely. I see you have them in preserving jars.
Yes.
Great. Okay, you know, I think that storm really is going to hit. Emergency candles. I think I'm going to need one of these in a little while. I'm going to take off now. Made it back just in the nick of time. I can feel those raindrops coming. I thought that I'd share with you today a little bit about how to make the pickle. All you need to have are 4 pounds of cucumbers, 6 medium onions, 2 green peppers, 3 cloves of garlic, 1/3 cup salt, 5 cups of sugar, 1½ teaspoons of turmeric, 1½ teaspoons of celery seed, 2 teaspoons of mustard seed, and 3 cups of cider vinegar. Simply slice cukes thin. Add onions, garlic, and salt. Cover with cracked ice and let stand 3 hours. Drain thoroughly and place in a pan. Combine remaining ingredients, that will be your vinegar, sugar, and spices, and pour over the cucumber mix. Heat to boiling, then pack the jars to within 1/4 inch of the top, making sure the liquid covers all the pickles. Process 20 minutes in a boiling bath. Pickles are done. I thought I'd show you a cute little way to decorate them. Really very simple. I buy these plastic country tablecloths and cut them up. This is actually from a venture from last year. All you have to do is grab a nice square, put a rubber band over the top, like so. Invest in a pair of pinking shears and cut to fit. My pickles have made many a Christmas present in their day. What could be simpler than that? Before we end, I have to share with you one other thing. You see, the hydrangeas are still in bloom, so I didn't want to miss the moment. Pickles and ice cream, you say? I've heard that expression all my life. Now it makes sense. Check this centerpiece out. I found these containers and I had to buy a couple. They weren't very expensive. I'll give you a hint of where I got them. They cost me $1. I just bet you have these little solo cups. If you have a Pilsner glass, you don't have to have one of these waffle vases. As you can see, I've just cut the hydrangea so it would fit like so. I think I'd like to have a few different flavors. Insert that right into the top. You can see I'm mounding them. No calories. Let's top it off with a creamy vanilla PG hydrangea. Take the leaves off. Insert it right in the top. So I've completed my 3 scoops. A cherry, you say? Zinnias from the garden. Take off the leaves, right on top. Insert a spoon, and there you have it. End of the summer party with all of your wares. Pickles and ice cream. We part until we meet again. See you next time here in Emily's Garden. We are in New England, so if you don't like the weather...
Wait a minute. And who said that?
Benjamin Franklin.
No. Mark Twain. Yeah.
Wait. Ask me who said that again.
Who said that?
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain. You got it.
That'll go on my outtakes, by the way. I do them. If you can't make fun of yourself, who the heck can?